So a quick look at Thomas Pieters Golf Swing here. Obviously recently selected in the Ryder Cup team and a fantastic golf swing. So let's have a little look at what he does well and have a little look at what we think of the overall movement he has. So from a setup point of view, very, very good, very well balanced, albeit obviously he's quite a tall chap and I'd see the head position sitting a little bit forward than normal. So I wouldn't mind seeing him elevating the top end of his spine a fraction more and getting his chin more back in towards his back collar, kind of this area here. If we just draw a line on the screen there, getting his chin to feel like it comes up towards that line a little bit more. That would, for me, make it kind of perfect. In terms of then how he moves the golf swing, as he moves away from the golf ball, we'll see here how the golf club comes back a little bit under the ideal plane line. And the club head is in a fractionally closed position for me, in the right wrist, and a slightly on top position for me. Obviously, there's a lot of coaches out there like to see the leading edge of the club here parallel to the spine, which is kind of close to where he is in this particular swing. I'd prefer to see it toe up, purely because it adds a little bit more loft. And more good players tend to struggle with hitting the ball left rather than right, so I'd rather see more added loft than less. So I'd love to see really the right arm there fold and sit down a little bit more level with the left arm, and let the club head rotate a little bit more, and the right wrist be a little bit more neutral rather than just on top there. So as he swings into the top of the swing for me, because of that first move, the shaft plane comes back in a little bit more upright position than would be my preference. And because of that, then, if it was a longer swing, I think we'd see the club tend to sort of start to favour going across line at the top. You'll just see there how the shaft's starting to go that way now. But otherwise, really, really like the position of his left arm at the top of the swing. The left wrist there, you'll see there is ever so slightly rotating and cupping. And that's all really to do with how those wrists work in the backswing for me. So the combination of how he moves back gets him to there. And you'll also notice that his head has moved away from the line at the start. So again, for me, if the head was more in that position at the start of the golf swing, in posture position, we'd see less movement with the head, and therefore less things to time and less things to control. So as he starts to move down in the golf swing, really dynamic kind of first few moves, starts to move his legs really, really well, gets the club down into a nice position. Club face might be a fraction closed again, but he gets the club down to a nice position here just prior to the contact. You'll see the club there just travelling slightly from the inside, but his pelvis is working for me beautifully. He's keeping his lower spine angle in a really good position. Hands at impact into a very good position from a point of view of a plane and height point of view. Pelvis really nice and open. Footwork nice and solid. Probably wouldn't mind seeing his right foot rolling a little bit more than that, but it's really nice and solid. And as he goes through the ball, this is what he does for me the best. He pivots really, really well through the golf ball. Left arm kind of works into a great shape here. The left wrist is in beautifully flat position. He's got great extension with the arms, and you can see there how his spine's rotating and just starting to stand up and sort of extend through the shot as we want. He does fractionally early extend, and most players will do that, so the amount will vary, but he does slightly early extend, and his left leg there is slightly more bent than I'd want it to be. Again, I think his footwork and knee action could be a little bit more active through the hitting area, but if we think about what we've already said, the club face was fractionally closed as it was coming down, so the footwork might be a little bit more quiet, just to add a little bit more loft through contact to stop that face closing down through the contact zone. As he goes into the fall through again, a lovely kind of extended finish, lovely pivot, and a beautiful looking golf swing. So for me, there's a couple of slight little compensations in there, but overall, fantastic movement and a great golf swing. And, you know, he's a great player. I'm sure he'll do great in the Ryder Cup, and let's hope he does. So a quick look at Thomas Pieters' golf swing here from the face-on point of view. Setup for me looks really, really good, really comfortable, but also a nice wide chest position, shoulders nicely away from his ears, right arm slightly flexed, and a real athletic, strong position, which I really, really like. As he works into his backswing, what we'll see here, which I really, really like, is the sequencing of his backswing is nice. He tends to turn beautifully from the mid-spine, his hips working with it just to allow him to turn, good width with the arms. But he's really wound up there into his right side behind the golf ball. Left knee just working in a little bit. So he's using his body as it should be used. He's working as much as he needs to move to complete a nicely coiled backswing with a good length of swing. So good matched position, I'd call it. In the downswing, what we see here is the hips, you know, starting first, leading, creating that X-factor stretch as we call it, winding away to create that kind of power. Right elbow stays flexed nicely into the downswing. His hips starting to extend kind of forward and up here towards target, which is beautiful. Right knee working into his left knee. Left leg nice and solid there. And again, look at the extension here. The belly button working up and out. The arms extending through the golf ball whilst kind of rotating into a beautiful finish. So a real great example of how to extend your arms and body through the swing and sequence your rotation, both backswing and downswing, to create like effortless power. So a great looking golf swing, great things you can see from this and learn from and look to copy, albeit that we don't always want to copy tour players' swings, but I think if we take bits of their swings that we want to improve in ours and try and think, okay, yeah, that's how it should look and this is what I'm going to do, and then use the drills that I would give you on the YouTube channel I have to try and work these parts of your swing together.